Did you know that over 70% of women report feeling more confident than ever, and that confidence is literally reshaping relationships? Yeah, confidence isn't just a vibe, it's a game changer, especially when you're a Sigma female, not just walking into a room, but owning it. So, what's a Sigma female? It's that rare breed, fiercely independent, self-assured, and totally unapologetic. A Sigma female doesn't need a crowd or validation. When it comes to social dynamics and relationships, that confidence isn't just attractive, it's disruptive. It changes the whole power play. Here's the deal. Male ego is this massive force, often built on control and status. It's like a fragile balloon that pops when a woman refuses to play the expected role. Sigma females don't just pop that balloon, they shred it. When a Sigma female steps in, the script flips. And let's be real, that's uncomfortable for some guys. Alright, let's break down exactly how this powerhouse energy plays out. 1. Unshakable independence. A Sigma female doesn't lean on anyone for approval. That alone can leave a man questioning his role. Unlike the typical need for constant reassurance, a Sigma female is grounded in her own sense of worth. She doesn't wait for compliments or validation to feel confident or make decisions. This independence means she owns her choices, stands firm in her beliefs, and never bases her happiness on someone else's opinion. When a Sigma female walks into a room, she carries a quiet strength that doesn't need to be loud to be noticed. She's secure in who she is and where she's headed, and that level of self-reliance can be disarming to many men. Because traditionally, some men expect to be the ones who provide validation or lead the relationship dynamic. When they meet a woman who already owns her power and doesn't seek their approval, it can throw them off balance. It challenges their usual role and forces them to reconsider what it means to be confident around a strong woman. This isn't about arrogance or dismissing others. It's about a Sigma female's refusal to shrink or change herself just to make someone else comfortable. She's clear on her boundaries and doesn't bend to please others at her own expense. That unwavering independence makes it clear she's not looking for a partner to complete her, but rather someone to walk alongside her as an equal. For many men, encountering a Sigma female who operates from this space of total self-sufficiency is a wake-up call. It breaks the mold of traditional expectations and invites a new kind of respect, one that comes from acknowledging her strength rather than trying to control it. And that's exactly where the ego gets challenged, because a Sigma female's independence says, "I don't need you to validate me, but I respect you for who you are." It flips the script and encourages mutual respect rather than dependency. So, when a Sigma female refuses to lean on anyone for approval, it's a powerful statement. It declares she's fully capable of navigating life on her own terms. This kind of energy isn't just attractive, it's magnetic. It draws people in because it's real, honest, and unshakable. And it forces those around her, especially men who might be used to certain dynamics, to step up their game or step back. That's the power of unshakable independence. It's not about pushing others away. It's about standing firmly in your own light and inviting others to meet you there on equal footing. In a world where many women still feel pressured to seek validation, the Sigma female's independence is revolutionary. It's a quiet rebellion that changes how relationships and social interactions work. It shifts the focus from needing approval to giving respect. That shift can be uncomfortable for egos built on control, but for anyone willing to embrace it, it opens the door to healthier, more balanced connections. So, unshakable independence isn't just a trait, it's a statement of power. And for a Sigma female, it's the foundation of everything she builds in life and love. Pause. If that hits home, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments how your independence has flipped the script for you. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more real talk on owning your power. Alright. Now on to the next move. 2. Speaking her truth. No sugarcoating. A Sigma female says what she means and means what she says. Ego? Yeah, that tends to shrink fast. When a Sigma female speaks her truth, there's no beating around the bush or trying to soften her words, just to keep the peace or avoid conflict. She values honesty over comfort because she knows that real connection comes from authenticity, not pretending or playing games. This straightforwardness can be refreshing but also challenging, especially for men who are used to certain social scripts where feelings are often hidden or softened to protect pride. A Sigma female doesn't hesitate to express her thoughts clearly and directly. If something isn't sitting right, she calls it out. If she disagrees, she says so without fear of backlash. This kind of bold communication can make egos deflate quickly because it doesn't leave room for misinterpretation or manipulation. When a man tries to put up a front or control the narrative, the Sigma female cuts through it with her raw honesty. This isn't about being harsh or disrespectful. It's about being real and owning one's voice without apology. Because a Sigma female understands that sugarcoating only delays the inevitable. The truth has to come out eventually, and when it does, it's better to come from a place of strength and clarity. When she says something, she backs it up with confidence and consistency, making it clear she stands behind her words. This level of integrity can be intimidating, especially if someone is used to playing power games or using vague language to keep their ego intact. But a Sigma female doesn't cater to fragile egos by watering down her message. Instead, she challenges them to grow and face reality. This kind of communication demands respect and often forces people to reassess their own behavior and attitudes. And when a Sigma female consistently speaks her truth, it creates an environment where honesty becomes the norm, not the exception. For men who try to protect their ego by avoiding tough conversations or pretending everything's fine, this can be uncomfortable, but ultimately necessary. Because growth and real connection come from facing the truth head-on, not hiding behind illusions. So yes, when a Sigma female speaks her truth, egos shrink fast because it's a reminder that authenticity is power. It's a call to drop pretenses and be real, even if that means feeling vulnerable or uncomfortable for a moment. But that discomfort is the price of respect and genuine relationships. A Sigma female knows this and embraces it because she values depth over drama and clarity over confusion. In the end, speaking her truth without sugarcoating isn't just about communication. It's about living a life aligned with who she truly is. And that's a kind of power that's impossible to ignore or undermine. 3. Emotional self-mastery. Confidence means controlling feelings, not the other way around. Drama? Not in the Sigma female's world. A Sigma female understands that true strength comes from managing emotions, not letting emotions manage her. Instead of reacting impulsively or letting feelings spiral out of control, she takes a step back, processes what she's experiencing, and responds with clarity and calm. This doesn't mean she suppresses emotions or pretends they don't exist. On the contrary, she fully acknowledges what she feels, but chooses how to express those feelings in a way that serves her best interests and maintains her peace of mind. Emotional self-mastery is about owning your emotional state rather than being owned by it. For a Sigma female, this means no unnecessary drama or emotional chaos that drags her down or distracts from her goals. When conflict arises, she doesn't escalate the situation by feeding into negative emotions. Instead, she stays centered and addresses issues logically and respectfully. This ability to stay grounded in the face of emotional challenges is part of what makes a Sigma female magnetic and powerful. It also tends to shake up men who expect emotional reactions as a way to control or manipulate situations. When a Sigma female stays calm and composed, it throws off those power plays and keeps her in control of the narrative. Emotional self-mastery also means setting boundaries around what emotional energy she allows into her life. A Sigma female won't waste time or energy on toxic drama or people who thrive on chaos. She protects her emotional space fiercely, knowing that her well-being depends on it. This isn't about being cold or distant, but about choosing emotional health over getting caught up in needless turmoil. This approach challenges traditional ideas about how women should express emotions. Instead of being reactive or overly sensitive, a Sigma female shows that emotional strength means being steady, resilient, and self-aware. For men who might be used to expecting emotional volatility or dependency, this calm confidence can be unsettling. It shifts the dynamic from one where feelings are a tool for manipulation to one where emotions are managed with maturity and respect. In relationships, this emotional self-mastery creates a space where communication is honest and balanced rather than explosive or draining. It invites respect and encourages both partners to bring their best selves forward. A Sigma female's control over her emotional world sends a clear message. She's not here to play games or engage in drama. She's here to live authentically and powerfully. That mindset not only strengthens her, but also forces those around her to raise their emotional intelligence or risk falling behind. So yeah, drama. Not in the Sigma female's world. Emotional self-mastery is a cornerstone of her confidence and a key reason why her presence can shatter fragile egos. It shows that real power lies in staying centered, choosing calm over chaos, and leading with emotional intelligence at all times. Pause. Like if you're done with drama and competition, comment below how refusing to compete has changed your life, and subscribe for all the confidence hacks coming your way. Let's keep going. 4. Refusing to compete. A Sigma female doesn't compete for attention or validation. The energy moves forward, leaving egos behind. Unlike many who feel the need to prove themselves constantly or battle for the spotlight, a Sigma female knows her worth without needing to fight for it. She understands that true confidence isn't about being louder or flashier than everyone else. It's about being authentic and focused on her own path. This refusal to compete doesn't come from pride or stubbornness. It comes from a deep place of self-assurance. When a Sigma female walks into a room, she doesn't scan for rivals or worry about who's watching. Her attention is on her goals, her growth, and the things that truly matter. Because she's not caught up in comparison or jealousy, she's free to direct her energy toward progress instead of distractions. This attitude can be confusing or even threatening to those who rely on competition to feel validated. For men used to traditional power games where dominance is shown through outshining others, a Sigma female's calm refusal to play that game disrupts the usual dynamic. She's not interested in proving anything to anyone, and that makes her presence quietly powerful. When others are busy jockeying for attention, she moves ahead with purpose, letting her actions speak louder than any contest. This shift from competition to self-mastery rewrites the rules of engagement. It says, "I'm not here to compete with you. I'm here to be my best self." And that mindset is a total ego check for anyone who measures worth by winning or being first. By refusing to compete, a Sigma female also avoids the drama and exhaustion that comes with constant battles for approval. She conserves her energy for what truly fuels her: growth, creativity, and meaningful connections. This approach helps maintain her emotional balance and keeps her focused on long-term success rather than short-term victories. In relationships, refusing to compete means she doesn't try to one-up her partner or seek dominance. Instead, she values equality and respect. She's confident enough not to need the spotlight or validation from others, which creates space for authentic partnership. This can unsettle men who are used to traditional roles where they're expected to lead or control. A Sigma female's refusal to compete invites a healthier dynamic based on mutual respect rather than power struggles. It encourages both people to bring their true selves without masks or posturing. In the bigger picture, this refusal to compete is a form of empowerment. It frees a Sigma female from the exhausting cycle of comparison and insecurity. It allows her to set her own pace and define success on her own terms. This kind of freedom is magnetic because it signals real confidence, the kind that doesn't need external validation to thrive. So when a Sigma female refuses to compete, she's not just ignoring the game, she's rewriting it. The energy moves forward, focused and unstoppable, leaving fragile egos and petty battles far behind. That's the power of refusing to compete. It's a declaration that your worth isn't up for debate, and your path is yours alone to own. 5. Mastering her own space. Boundaries are a Sigma female's best friend. When a man crosses them, his ego hits a wall. A Sigma female knows that setting clear, firm boundaries isn't just about keeping people out. It's about protecting her energy, her time, and her peace of mind. These boundaries define where she ends and others begin, creating a space where she can thrive without interference or unnecessary drama. Unlike those who might hesitate to say no or let others overstep, a Sigma female treats boundaries as non-negotiable. They are her shield and her power tool. When someone tries to push past them, especially a man with an inflated ego, it's like hitting a solid brick wall, sudden, firm, and impossible to ignore. This can be a real shock for men who are used to testing limits or expecting certain freedoms in relationships or interactions. But a Sigma female isn't here to accommodate fragile egos or negotiate respect. She demands it through her clear, unwavering boundaries. This mastery of personal space sends a strong message: respect me or step back. It's not about being harsh or distant, it's about self-respect and self-care. A Sigma female understands that without these boundaries, she risks losing herself, getting drained, or being pulled into toxic patterns. So she protects her space fiercely, whether that means emotional, physical, or mental boundaries. This mastery also means she knows exactly what she will and won't tolerate. She doesn't waste time trying to explain or justify her limits. Her boundaries are communicated clearly and enforced consistently. That kind of confidence can be unsettling for some men because it disrupts the usual push and pull dynamic where control is often tested. When a Sigma female stands her ground, it forces men to confront their own behavior and respect her autonomy. And if they don't, the ego hits the wall hard because it's a clear rejection of entitlement. In relationships, mastering her own space means the Sigma female doesn't lose herself trying to please or accommodate. She balances closeness with independence and ensures that her needs are met just as much as anyone else's. This balance creates healthier, more equal partnerships where respect is mutual and boundaries are honored. For men who are used to traditional dynamics where women might compromise their space for the sake of harmony, this can be a total game changer. It encourages growth and forces a rethink of what respect really means. Ultimately, mastering her own space is about owning her life fully and confidently. It's about refusing to be pushed around or diminished. The boundaries she sets aren't walls to keep people out, but fences that protect her garden. And when a man crosses those fences without permission, his ego takes the hit because it's a reminder that respect is earned, not demanded. This power to create and protect her own space is a core reason why Sigma females command attention and respect without asking for it. It's a silent strength that shapes every interaction and keeps her centered in her truth. So yeah, boundaries are a Sigma female's best friend. They define her world and keep her strong. And when someone crosses those lines, it's a firm reality check that no ego can ignore. 6. Not chasing approval. Knowing her worth means a Sigma female doesn't bend to win approval. That flips the usual power dynamic. Unlike many who feel the constant pressure to please others or adjust themselves to fit in, a Sigma female stands firm in her value without needing anyone's validation. She understands that her worth isn't tied to outside opinions or social acceptance, and because of that, she doesn't compromise her beliefs or personality just to be liked or accepted. This refusal to chase approval is a radical form of self-respect. It means she sets her own standards and lives by them, no matter what others think or say. For a Sigma female, approval isn't a currency she trades for attention or affection. Instead, her confidence comes from within, a deep knowing that she's enough as she is. This mindset completely flips the typical power dynamic found in many relationships or social situations. When most people seek approval, they put the power in others' hands, allowing their self-esteem to rise and fall based on external feedback. A Sigma female takes that power back by refusing to make her sense of self contingent on anyone else's approval. This shift can be disarming, especially for men who are used to traditional dynamics where they feel expected to validate or approve a woman's worth. When a Sigma female doesn't seek that approval, it challenges their role and forces them to engage on a new level, one based on genuine respect rather than control or validation. It also means she doesn't play into games of manipulation or neediness. There's no bending, no pretending, no altering who she is just to fit someone else's idea of what she should be. This authenticity can be intimidating because it leaves no room for ego inflation or power trips. Instead, it invites honest connection built on equality and mutual respect. In everyday life, not chasing approval frees a Sigma female from exhausting cycles of people-pleasing and self-doubt. She saves her energy for what truly matters, pursuing her goals, nurturing her passions, and cultivating meaningful relationships where she is valued for exactly who she is. This approach encourages others to meet her on her terms, which leads to healthier interactions overall. Men who encounter a Sigma female with this mindset often realize that the usual tactics of control or ego boosting won't work. Instead, they need to show up authentically and respectfully, or risk losing the connection. This dynamic creates space for both people to be real without masks or pretenses. Ultimately, not chasing approval is a powerful statement of independence and strength. It means living confidently in your own truth and trusting that the right people will appreciate you for it. For a Sigma female, this isn't just a way to survive social situations. It's a way to thrive. It's about owning her narrative and refusing to let others write it for her. So when a Sigma female doesn't bend to win approval, she's not being difficult or stubborn. She's flipping the script, taking control of her self-worth, and inviting others to respect her on a whole new level. That's the real power of knowing your worth and not chasing approval. It changes everything. 7. Walking away. Gracefully. When respect is missing, a Sigma female walks away. The ultimate ego check. Unlike many who might stick around hoping things will change or trying to fix situations where respect is lacking, a Sigma female knows exactly when it's time to step back and walk away. This isn't about giving up or being passive. It's a powerful, intentional choice that protects her dignity and self-worth. For a Sigma female, respect isn't optional. It's a foundation. When that foundation crumbles or is ignored, she doesn't waste time arguing or pleading for validation. Instead, she calmly and confidently removes herself from the situation. Walking away gracefully means doing so with composure and strength, not anger or drama. It's a statement that says, "I value myself enough not to tolerate disrespect." This act can be one of the strongest ego checks a man can face because it breaks the cycle of entitlement. Many egos rely on control or the assumption that a woman will stay no matter what. When a Sigma female walks away, it disrupts those assumptions completely. It shows that her presence isn't guaranteed and that respect is earned, not demanded. This kind of boundary setting can be unsettling for men who are used to traditional dynamics where they expect forgiveness, patience, or endless chances. But the Sigma female doesn't need to negotiate respect. She commands it through her actions. Walking away gracefully also demonstrates emotional maturity. It's not about burning bridges or holding grudges. It's about recognizing when a situation no longer serves her growth or happiness and choosing a better path. This decision is freeing because it puts control back into her hands. Instead of being trapped in a cycle of disrespect or disappointment, she chooses freedom and self-care. For men, this can be a wake-up call. It forces them to reflect on their behavior and realize that respect is non-negotiable if they want to maintain any kind of relationship. The Sigma female's ability to walk away calmly and confidently sends a clear message. Disrespect is a deal-breaker. In relationships, this grace under pressure creates a dynamic where both people understand the value of mutual respect. It discourages toxic behavior and encourages growth or change if the connection is worth saving. But if it's not, walking away becomes an empowering exit rather than a failure. Ultimately, walking away gracefully is about owning your worth and refusing to settle for less. It's a form of self-love that protects your energy and keeps your standards high. For a Sigma female, this act is more than just leaving. It's a powerful declaration that respect and dignity come first, always. So when respect is missing, a Sigma female doesn't argue or beg. She walks away with strength and poise, delivering the ultimate ego check that no one can ignore. Hit like if you believe walking away is strength. Drop a comment about a time you walked away with grace. Don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing wisdom. And finally, 8. Living by her own rules. Sigma females aren't in the game to fit in. That freedom? Total ego wrecking ball. Unlike many who try to blend in or follow the crowd to avoid standing out, a Sigma female rejects the pressure to conform. She understands that true power comes from creating her own path and living life on her own terms. This means she doesn't follow societal expectations just because they exist or because it's easier to do so. Instead, she questions, evaluates, and decides what works best for her, regardless of what others might think or say. Living by her own rules gives a Sigma female a unique kind of freedom. Freedom from judgment, freedom from the need to explain herself, and freedom from living a life that doesn't feel authentic. This freedom isn't just liberating for her, it's also a massive challenge to anyone trying to control or define her. For men who expect a woman to fit into certain roles or behave a certain way, encountering a Sigma female who boldly charts her own course can feel like a direct challenge to their ego. That ego, built on expectations and control, often crumbles when faced with someone who refuses to play by the rules. Sigma females don't seek permission or approval for their choices. They don't ask, "Is this okay?" or "Will people like this?" Instead, they own their decisions fully, and that confidence can be disarming. It shows that her value and identity aren't negotiable, which completely flips the power dynamic. Living by her own rules also means a Sigma female isn't afraid to take risks or stand alone. She understands that following the crowd might feel safe, but it rarely leads to greatness. She's willing to be the outlier, the one who questions norms, and the one who sets new standards. That willingness to stand apart requires courage and deep self-trust. This mindset inspires respect and admiration because it reveals a woman who is genuinely free and unbreakable. For men who are used to traditional dynamics, this independence can be intimidating. It forces them to see women not as followers or supporters, but as equals who can lead and innovate. That shift can disrupt egos that rely on outdated ideas of power and control. When a Sigma female lives by her own rules, she invites others to do the same, encouraging authenticity and self-expression rather than conformity. This creates healthier, more balanced relationships and social interactions. Ultimately, living by her own rules is a radical form of empowerment. It's about rejecting limitations and embracing the full spectrum of who she is. For a Sigma female, this way of living isn't about rebellion for its own sake. It's about freedom, integrity, and alignment with her true self. That freedom acts like a wrecking ball to fragile egos because it refuses to bend or break under pressure. It demands respect and forces anyone around her to reconsider what real strength looks like. So, living by her own rules means a Sigma female is always moving forward, unshaken by expectations, unstoppable in her authenticity, and utterly free. And that kind of freedom, it's the ultimate ego wrecking ball. Here's the truth. When a Sigma female owns confidence, it forces a man to either rise or retreat. This kind of confidence isn't loud or flashy, it's steady, calm, and unshakable. It doesn't beg for attention or validation, and that's what makes it so powerful. I remember this one story about a guy who was used to dominating conversations wherever he went. He thrived on being the center of attention, controlling the vibe, and setting the tone. He expected people to follow his lead without question. Then he met a Sigma female who simply refused to play along. She didn't compete for the spotlight or try to one-up him. Instead, she stayed calm and steady, shining quietly in her own space. She spoke her truth clearly without backing down or bending to his expectations. Her confidence wasn't about overpowering him, it was about being fully herself, unapologetically. At first, this cracked his ego. He was thrown off because he wasn't used to meeting someone who wouldn't react to his usual tactics. Instead of breaking her down or trying to control the situation, he was forced to rethink everything: his approach, his assumptions, and even his own confidence. This moment wasn't about a battle of egos, but about a powerful shift. When a Sigma female holds her ground with quiet strength, it doesn't just shatter fragile egos, it invites growth, if the man is ready for it. It's a test of maturity and self-awareness. Some will retreat, unable to handle the challenge. Others will rise, inspired to become better versions of themselves. That's the real impact of Sigma female confidence. It creates space for transformation, not just disruption. A Sigma female's confidence isn't about tearing down a man. It's about standing tall, owning power, and refusing to be small. This confidence calls for something deeper than just surface-level interaction. It demands real self-awareness from everyone involved. When a Sigma female steps into her power, it shakes egos because it forces both parties to look inward. It asks questions like, who am I really? What do I want? How do I respect myself and others? That's where true connection begins, not in control or dominance, but in authenticity and mutual respect. This dynamic challenges old ideas about power in relationships and social settings. It's no longer about who has more control, but about who can be most honest and present. A Sigma female leads by example, showing that confidence rooted in self-respect creates stronger, healthier connections. And for anyone willing to meet her there, it's a chance to grow, evolve, and build something real. So remember, confidence, like a Sigma female's, isn't a weapon to hurt. It's a force that inspires. It invites both men and women to rise beyond fragile egos and step into their fullest selves. That's the true power behind the Sigma female's presence, the power to transform not just herself, but those around her. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt your confidence shake a man's ego? Or maybe your own ego got challenged by a Sigma female? Drop your stories or thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you're vibing with this, don't miss my other videos diving deeper into confidence and power. Trust me, you'll want to stick around.